Unfortunately, like Paul, we both had a pretty misspent youth, so I can't remember this speech. I've had to write it down. And it was a misspent youth. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Rick Bauer. I'm Paul's wing best man. And it's great for Paul to finally recognise me as the best man, because I've been telling him for years that I've been the best man. And today, I actually have that title, so thanks very much. Now, I would obviously like to say, I know this is traditional to do so, but I'd like to thank the lovely maid of honour, Lucy, today. It was great, and great fun dancing down the aisle before. I couldn't have done that on my own. And the lovely little bridesmaids that we had today, and of course, Amy, you genuinely look stunning today. The dress, Anna, is fantastic. I think everyone will agree. Yeah. Now, I've been lucky enough this year to spend quite a lot of time with these guys on holiday in Cornwall and a few boozy nights out. And I can honestly say that as long as you don't mention Nigel Farage or Brexit, seriously don't mention it, these two are absolutely perfect together. And I can honestly say that, Amy, it's been lovely spending some time with you this summer, and I don't feel today like I've lost a friend to marriage. I feel like I've gained one. And I honestly think that if my daughters grow up as grounded and as lovely as you, I'll genuinely be a really, really happy dad. So to summarise, Amy, I'd say that you're lovely and caring and a really nice person that everyone loves spending time with. So Paul, it's true what they say, opposites obviously attract. Now it's lovely to see everyone today. I made such an effort, and having wandered around and speaking to a few people, I heard some of Amy's relatives saying just before that it only seems like yesterday that Amy was going to bed every night with her dummy. And of course it's funny how history repeats itself, but of course it appears that that's exactly what's going to happen later on. Now when Paul first told me that he'd met someone special, I was a bit intrigued really. Paul's a little bit hard work. I was wondering how this new flame in his life would cope with his weird ways. He's quite stubborn, it can have some odd characteristics which we all love him for. But imagine my relief when I found out that this person was a specialist in looking after naughty children. I think I knew from that moment that Paul had found the right type of person that could put up with him, because we all know, Kochi, that you, just like me, we can be a little bit hard workers guys sometimes, and it's nice that Amy is so in love with you. Now, before we get started on the character assassination, Paul used to have a little bit of a thing he was famous for years ago, whereby he used to give out front door keys to his house on boozy nights out to ladies. Now, back up towards Manchester, this was commonplace, and we all knew that a few girls locally would have keys to Paul's front door. Now, I just thought it would be good, while everyone was in the room today, that maybe we could wipe the slate clean. So if anyone has got a key to Paul's front door, if they could give it back to him now, I think that would be a good idea. I only gave out 5 keys. Now, Paul always was pretty good with the girls, to be honest with you. I remember a bit of a boozy night out up in Manchester once. I don't know if Paul remembers this, but me and Paul were sort of each other's wingman, and we were up in a bar in Manchester trying to look cool, and we were having absolutely no luck at all. I couldn't work out what the hell was going wrong. That wasn't until I went to the toilet and came out a couple of minutes later to see Paul talking to 2 gorgeous girls without any help from me whatsoever. So obviously I'm thinking, great, fantastic. He's done all the groundwork, only for me to come out and stand next to him and they disappeared. So I can honestly say, mate, that you didn't need my help. up north, and to be honest with you, you've done mighty fine for yourself down here without me, so well done, mate. You've done all right. Now, I was pretty excited to tell you a few stories about me and Paul and some of the crazy nights out we had, but in truth, my other half, Ali, got hold of this speech a few weeks ago and scribbled a few of them out. Because these stories don't only incriminate Paul, but they incriminate me as well. But I would like to say very genuinely, mate, that you are my best friend. And you know I think the world of you. And it's been absolutely amazing to see you getting married today. I'm sure everyone in here will agree, but for me, and I know Andrew, your two best friends in the world, it's really been absolutely fantastic. We've both obviously had some pretty rocky times, as everyone does have, and to have you there over the years, mate, has been fantastic. So thank you very much. Now, Paul's had a few high-flying jobs over the years, including running his own printing company in London. So everyone, a lot of you might think that Paul is quite a sharp, quite an intellectual guy. But all became true one night on a trip out to Pizza Hut when the waitress asked Paul if he would like his pizza cut into 4 or 8 slices. Only for Paul to reply to the waitress, "You better make it 4, love, I'll never eat 8." So, that about sums Paul up, really. Now, I was proud to have Paul as a mate, even after stupid things like that. That was until just about the time that the Matrix films came out that Paul decided he would buy himself a full-length black leather jacket. When I mean full-length, I mean as long as Amy's wedding dress. Now, Paul to this day still thinks that this jacket was, he always tells you it's lovely, it was lovely leather, and it was a beautiful jacket. It was really good value for money. But mate, I can honestly say that up in a small mining town in Cheshire, to be walking around dressed as Neo on a Friday night was, I think it was probably worse for everyone that was with you than it was for you. I think it was at that point that I realised that you maybe needed a little bit of help from me, and not the other way around. Now, at that point in time, you were struggling with the ladies, and I don't know if it was anything to do with that jacket, but you obviously weren't having much luck. And it was for this reason, I think, that Paul decided he would apply to go on to Blind Date. Now, this is a story that Paul absolutely hates being told. And when I say I can't obviously underestimate this enough. So it's for that reason I thought I'd tell you all about it. So we found out that Paul was going to go on to Blind Date pretty much as the recording was going to hit the TV screens. This is, for those of you younger in the audience, this was as big as X Factor. This was the big Saturday night TV show, probably about 5 million viewers. Paul decides that he's going to apply to go on to Blind Date. And not only did he apply to go on to Blind Date, but he actually ended up going on Blind Date. Not only did he end up actually going on the TV show as one of the 3 guys on the other side of the board, but he got picked. And the lucky devil chose the envelope with the holiday to Miami. All was going perfectly well. But the one thing that no one accounted for in this little 5 minutes of fame for Paul was the fact that the girl he went with was an absolute psycho. And it was clear for everyone to see that for 2 weekends of primetime TV, Paul and this girl ripped each other to shreds, like you have never seen. It was the worst blind date ever. Now, I've searched YouTube, but unfortunately, there are no videos from that moment, and I wish there were. But I know you hate that story being told, mate, but you know what? It was fantastic. And you should embrace it, because we loved it. 20 years later, we're still dining out on that story, even now. Now, mate, I think the highlight of...
We do have the video.
load that up onto the internet for us all to watch? Okay. Well, I wish I'd known this about 2 months ago. Because a projector and a big screen here. Gone brilliant. Now we've had some classic holidays, mate. We've spent plenty of time snowboarding all over the Alps. We've done the surfing trips, the skateboarding trips. We've done all that sort of stuff. But I can honestly say the best holiday of my life, mate, as you know, is the Alpe d'Huez holiday in our catered chalet, mate. Absolutely unbelievable. We held our own version of the Winter Olympics. While the Winter Olympics were on, we did the high dive off the top floor of the balcony. We ran through the snow only to find halfway along the powder was a hidden river, which we all fell into and nearly died from hypothermia. I drunk Giuseppe with the chalet staff and collapsed on the table, which is the video I'm not allowed to have. But those holidays may have been the best times of my life. Now, although pretty much everyone is here today, there is a certain group of people that couldn't be here today. And Paul knows who these people are, I'm sure. So I've got a message from some old friends for you today, mate. It says, "Hi Paul, we're all so happy to hear that you've settled down and finally found the girl of your dreams. It's been years and years since we've seen you, but you invested so much time and money into our friendship that we miss you so much and we feel like you used to be part of the furniture at work." And that's from all the girls at Longlegs in Manchester. Now, as far as advice goes for you guys today, I'm probably not the best person to ask. I've never been married, so like most people that don't know anything these days, I went to Google to get you guys. I thought I might get you just 3 tips how to live your happily married life. I thought if you could stick to these 3 at least, you might not do too bad. Now, Paul, apparently the best way to remember your wedding anniversary is to forget it once. According to the World Wide Web. Don't laugh at any of Amy's choices, because of course you are one of them. And last but not least, and the one everyone in the room, I'm sure, that's married does know, is don't forget those 3 magic words, which are "you're right, darling." So before I finish, I'd like to say thank you very much to everyone that turned up to the stag do in London. It was quite tame as far as stag do's go. Paul basically threatened to beat the shit out of me if I did anything to him, and he's bigger than me. So it turned out that we didn't actually do any crazy pranks and nothing too stupid. But we had a great night. I'm sure everyone will agree. I did my bit. I tried to stay reasonably sober, so I could keep an eye on Paul in the nightclub and make sure that he got home all right. I went at one point to go and stand with you in the dance floor. I saw you from the balcony. I popped over to make sure you were all right, but in fairness, Paul's dancing, as you'll probably see later, was just unbelievable. I just had to leave you to it, mate. But you did get home all right, and we had an absolutely epic night. So thank you very much to everyone that came and made that really special. Now, the only thing that's left, apparently, of course, after tonight, the big thing coming forward now is, of course, the honeymoon. So Paul, as usual, has changed plans. At first, I thought you were going to Italy or Spain, but apparently now it's North Wales. Or at least that's what I believe Paul said before when he said he was going to bang her all next week. Okay, so thanks you guys for letting me stand up here and make a fool of myself and a fool of you as well. For the very last time, can I ask everyone please to stand up and raise your glasses to the new couple, Mr. and Mrs. Conti de Ferro.